Hi guys, Linda Lopatka here. I'm really trying hard to make these envelopes that Cori made, and she uses a crocodile. Oh no, she uses the hand crocodile, and I don't have one of those. And she also used like a little square punch, and I don't have that, but I do have this. And I've tried lots of different ways. Like I've tried cutting my piece of paper the right way and putting it in here, you know, and punching it out. But then I either get it crooked or too high or too low, or sometimes I get lucky and it's just right. But, you know, now see, that one looks pretty good. But I've had many fails, many fails. So I want to measure from where the edge of the hole is, 1/2 inch, and that's about 1/2 inch or whatever it is from the edge of that hole. So that one's not a 1/2 inch, you know, to try to get it somewhat symmetrical. Okay, so there's one. So that's the hardest part of the whole thing, is getting the slot the right, you know, size. So I can put that on this vellum, and then after I glue it on the vellum, then I'll take my punch in and punch it again. But the other way that I was doing it that I found to be easier is if I take this and put it all the way in, and it is just about a 1/2 inch there. If I, you know, like there's this little nub on the end here, just so I can see that, and punch, and then flip it over, and, you know, to get the lines all lined up. And then I'm coming in and just kind of eyeballing how much I want there and punching it, and then coming back and doing like, okay, so do I want it a 1/2 inch? Then I would put this cut at a 1/2 inch, and then I have this twist, and then flip it over and put that cut at a 1/2 inch, so that I know that the distance between the top and bottom are the same. Look at it again, moved on me. And then checking to see, I need a new blade, I know. Checking to see, you know, from here to here, is that a 1/2 inch? And I can see that by that line there. So I'm going to put this cut, or that edge of that circle, at a 1/2 inch. And then I have another almost ready to use mail slot. But, you know, Cori has such a good video on it, and I just was having so much trouble doing it because I don't have, all I have is this, you know, word window to really cut it with. So then I'm just gonna glue it on. Like I don't know if I said this because the second time I did the video, I sewed this one on the mail slot, and I don't really like the way the mail slot looks sewed on. I like the way the vellum looks sewed on, but so I'm using vellum, and Cori had used vellum. I'm going to glue this on, and you know, when I look at it, this looks a little narrower than that. Let me just check it and see. All right, so I would put my, you know, cut here. Yeah, it is a little less than 1/2 inch. Little tiny bit less. Oh boy, this paper cutter's not going to cut this. Oh, it's like barely anything. I don't know why my eyes see that, because they aren't that good. Oh well, that's going to do in my land of good enough. where I live. Okay, I am going to take and round these corners just because these are rounded, so I don't know. Round them. And then kind of want to ink it, but not real dark, just a little bit. So I'm just really running it along the side here. And then along here. Okay. Then I'm going to glue it on. So I've tried it a couple times, and I think I've got it down, but you just never know. So that looks pretty straight. Okay. Yeah. Put my pin back in my glue. And then I need a piece of this. And this was this pack of paper that I got. Let me show you the cover. I've been using it all week. It's almost gone. At a garage sale, and it has vellum, and then it has paper that kind of matches it. Oh, it's so pretty. Pretty, but I thought it would be nice for this. And so these are 6x4. So for some reason, I don't know why this isn't. I cut it. I thought I cut it at 6x4. Let me see. So this paper is 11 3/4 by 12. Odd. Very odd. But that's okay. It's working for me. So I need to cut this. I'm cutting these at 4x6, which is kind of small, but and then I'll just take it to the sewing machine and sew around it. But first, I need to punch this out. The one I sewed this on, I forgot to punch it out before I sewed the other. And then I did have to use a X-Acto knife. And the X-Acto knife and I are not the best of friends. And, you know, living alone, I don't want to cut myself. I am careful, but very careful. Okay, that should be good. That is the hard part. Because see, now I still have where I didn't make it perfect. But that should be more perfect. Oh dear. Am I going to have to get the X-Acto knife out? So then I'm going to put it on here and just sew around it. And then I made these little pieces by taking a piece of notebook paper and book page. And I want to do a couple more of those. Let me see. These pieces, they're too narrow. And take some lined paper here. This paper is kind of thick. And then, so in order to fit in the slot, it can only be about 2 inches. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is cut these 2 inches. And I'll keep that because that might be fun to put on the, you know, a cluster. So I'm going to take 2, and then I'm going to take a piece of book page, cut that at 2 inches. I just want to cut off a little bit of this. I didn't cut that straight. I'll tell you sometimes. All right, so then I just took, well, it can't be this long, so stick this in here. And I want it to come over like that. Well, I guess it could be. So I'm going to fold that over, but I want to put a piece of book page behind it. But I want the book page upside down so that when I fold it over, it's right side up. And Cori's one that really made me conscious of that. She is very careful about that. I think I'm going to cut that off. Better do it with the paper cutter because then it might be straight. Okay, so then I want to take and glue these in here. So the top of this, I'm going to take and fold like in the middle here. And glue that down. Put a little bit of glue on there. Then I think I'll sew that on there. I don't think that'll be too bulky to go in there. But I might have to cut it all down a little bit. I tried sharpening my blade with tin foil and it seemed to work for a little bit, but not very long. Okay, I think that's going to be good. All right, so I'm going to sew that at the top there. I'm going to sew this around all four sides. Let's make sure that one's going to fit. Okay. Then I was thinking it might be kind of fun to put a wax seal on here. So I might try that. I'll have to get all that stuff out. But it just seems kind of narrow, doesn't it? But then it'll get glued onto a page. But I thought the wax seal, I kind of want it like that it hangs over, so I'm gonna have to put like wax paper or something under it, and I'll get that all set up and then come back and show you that if it works. Okay, so my practice one came out pretty good. This is that, you know, one of those heat mats. So this is the one that I've sewn and I really want to come out right, so we'll see. So I'm taking a piece of the scrap and I'm punching a 1-inch circle. Just trying to use up the scraps. And then I'm going to glue that to the back of the point. Right here. Like this. Now I have a couple different kinds of wax melting things. I have this guy thing, you know, that has the candle underneath. But, you know, when you pour it, the wax gets underneath it. And, you know, that's one way to do it. But this is like a really old one from, I don't know, maybe when I was in 7th grade. Which is like the 1960s. I don't know. Anyway, you know, we all had our little notes that we passed. So, anyway. All right, I just want to have a bottle of water here handy, just in case. My fire extinguisher. It didn't burn down the place yet, but, you know, you never know. So I just have to light this and get the wax started. My little ashtray here. So then I'm just going to fill up that spot with wax. this takes a little bit of time. I think that's why people prefer the pouring, but I think that's kind of even messier. I'll just blow this out, put it in here, and then press straight down. And it ran over, which is okay with me. Then I just let it cool a little bit. Be kind of nice if all of this would come up, but I don't know if it will or not. Like, that piece isn't. Oh, I wonder if I use my little spatula. So I wonder if I use this, if it'll come up. Oh yeah, so it's a little tree of life. I don't know if you can see that or not, but I just thought that that would look pretty cool coming out of like this little envelope. Yeah, now it's not going to go in. There we go. So I just thought that would look kind of neat hanging down there like that. Maybe I should have made that a little shorter. I can still do that. I can fold that like that. And then I have to trim this off. And I have lines, so I can cut on the line. Let's see if that looks a little better. Still my practice ones. I don't know. There we go. That looks good like that. I like that. So that's what I'm doing today. I'm trying to make these little envelopes, and I want to put them in my idea book. Not real happy with my idea book. I wish I would have made it bigger. You know, I don't know. So, different things are in here. These I just clipped in there. And then this was Cori's Flip, Flap, and Fold, which I really like that one. And then this was the other idea. And that was the same as that. Okay, so I can put this here. I'm going to put this one that I don't really like on here. And oh, this is just a little half page. But I think that's okay. So let's take the tape. And I noticed my tape was broken here, but I see little teeth marks. So some little kitty cat named Rudy must have gotten on it. Okay, so I can't do the whole thing. So I only can do in the middle here. All right, so there's my mailbox or mail slot idea from Cori. So I want to put that on here so I know who it's from. Okay, so see I had the little paper behind where the wax is. That was the little 1-inch circle that I did. All right, that's my idea. That's what I'm doing today. Thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you're having fun and not getting frustrated with new things you're trying. Thanks for watching. Bye.